Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
No, let's start off with your hand, Allison. We're starting off with Allison's hand in the show. Thank you, Allison. Allison's like, did you ever watch Muppet Babies when you were a kid?
Me?
You know, you had Nanny, and you only saw her socks. That's all you saw. That's Allison. And guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder.
Oops. Nope. Hold on. We were... where is he? There he is.
The elusive BitBoy. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. We come to you live every single day, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. DZ will be on tomorrow. I've got C12 meeting. Of course, we're at VCon at the end of the week. We got some killer videos for you on Thursday and Friday for the live stream. Today is Monday, May 16th, 75 degrees here in the BitBoy Crypto studio. How did you guys like the vlog? A lot of people love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of content we've been doing on Hit Network. And then we figured, you know what? Let's let the people see it. So, you know, shout out to Tristan, who does the editing on that, and Aaron that does the shooting. They're phenomenal. So shout out to our people there. But crypto over the weekend, pretty boring, right? Mm-hmm. Not a lot of movement. I mean, you might relatively say a move to 31,000 and back down to 28 is you know, volatile at this point. I want to know what you guys thought about our video from Saturday night where we talked about the Bitcoin cycles. And guys, now when we're taking averages and projecting into the future what things will look like, obviously there's some conjecture there, but we're really basing that on numbers. That's what you have to understand. Looking back at historically, what Bitcoin has done, you know, that video was what we should see. Now, you know what we need to do, TJ, is another video where we talk about if that scenario happens, you know, when a lot of people are wondering, when do we hit all-time highs again? So I think coming up with a date that we think we should be looking for all-time highs again is good. And I know I've been talking about this a lot, but we got it on Thursday for you guys when we have our live stream instead of our regular live stream. Very special video on what we are calling the false top theory. The false top theory, which is, and there's a lot of evidence to point to this. I think it's much more likely that, you know, November will be the bottom. There's a chance we just saw the bottom, and that would be based on this theory, and we're going to be putting that out for you guys as well. We're not saying that it's definitely going to happen. You know, we're not sold out. We're going to show you there's a lot of evidence to suggest that that was the beginning. I was, you know, Louis Raskin?
No.
Crypto Elite. He was in our Satoshi Droppers group on
Crypto
Instagram.
Elite. Yeah, I know Crypto Elite.
Well, he changed his name. He just goes by Louis Raskin now. But
gotcha.
He's an awesome guy. He's very smart. I was watching a video that he put out, or somebody else put out a video, and then he put out something in the comments saying that he believes that the actual bear market started last March. And, you know, when you look at the numbers, it doesn't seem to make sense. But when you look at the sentiment around it and the sentiment around previous bull runs, it does make sense. So it really depends. When you're looking at a bull market, are you looking at a number, or are you looking at volume and sentiment? And I think there's an argument that you could use either one.
Sure.
All right. I thought you guys will go deeper than that. Well, you know, here's the thing about that is we're going to continue to dig in deep into a lot of this stuff, which you have to understand that video was shook up by what happened last week. We had to kind of like punt what we were doing previously and change it a lot based on the dramatic move. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it here. 1.45 million subscribers here on YouTube. I think we are going to be ticking up relatively soon. 459K on BitBoy_crypto. And then don't forget to follow me, Ben Armstrong, actually previously Dad Jokes for the Win. We had changed the name of this just for SEO purposes. But I want you guys to notice something. Well, first of all, look at my kid. I mean, does that kid not look like a baller to you?
Yep.
That looks like a serious 6-year-old baseball player right there. So that's my son. Did awesome this weekend. Hit some balls way out over left fielder's head. They got second in their tournament. Congrats on him. But Ben Armstrong actually is where I'd put like a lot of personal stuff. But notice when you put in Ben Armstrong actually, like, you see we got Ben Armstrong actually _1, Ben Armstrong actually 1, Ben Armstrong actually _. These are scammers, guys. These are impersonators that are trying to pretend to be me. I don't message people on Instagram. So if you're getting messages from me, just know that they are scams. And guys, don't forget to smash that like button while you're at it. Number one thing you can do as a member of the BitSquad, if you enjoy the fact that we don't slow down the content. We continue to give you all the same content that you got at the peak of the market. We're going to give it to you at the bottom of the market, because the bottom of the market is actually the more important time. Top of the market's the fun time. Bottom of the market is the more important time. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's check out Twitter here. 842,000. I think we're starting our Twitter buzz segment on Wednesday.
Oh, good.
So
yeah, that's right.
yeah, exactly. And guys, we did buy land in Everdome. We did buy it. We did get it at a slight discount just for transparency purposes, but not that much. I think it was like a 10% discount. It wasn't like dramatic or anything like that. I don't know the exact number, but what I'd say is this is not a, we don't do sponsor content. We don't do anything, we don't take money to do anything, but we did buy land in Everdome. So I wanted to point that out about this tweet. We do believe Everdome is a burgeoning, metaverse ecosystem. Won't be fully ready probably for a while. Sandbox to push back their date as well. So metaverse is a little further off than maybe we thought last year, but it's still coming. We like Everdome and things like that. So, and here, some stuff I said on stablecoins. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. You get all this. Here's what my prediction was. Stablecoins. Number one, stablecoin staking over 2% goes away, period. Number two, the path will be cleared for USDC to become the digital dollar. And those are not going to happen close together, by the way. I think the first one will happen very soon in the next year and a half. And then after that, we're looking at a lot further out. So
you talking, is the 2% number, does that come from bonds? Is that where that, or where do you get that 2%?
Bonds, 0.5% to 2%. Basically what the government has to do is they have to disincentivize risk-averse people from going to stablecoins instead of bonds. So
right.
That's what we'll see. All right. Ben, you made the call. Don't punk out $10,000 Bitcoin. I said last week, like in my heart, I don't feel like it's going down to 10,300. The numbers say that it is. So we're looking at a your classic brain versus heart moment here.
Mm-hmm.
The brain says it's going to 10,300, maybe $14,000, somewhere in between that range. That's what the numbers say. The heart says, I just can't believe it, can't see it going below 20K. Yeah. And we do know, right? We do know that we're at the corner, the juxtaposition of two things, okay? We're at the juxtaposition, number one, of traditional numbers from the Bitcoin cycles, okay? They have, traditionally 85% drop. But we're also on the juxtaposition of another thing, which is Bitcoin has never gone below the previous 4-year all-time high. So one of those two things is going to get broken here. Mm-hmm. One of them is going to get broken. Which one is it? I tend to lean more on, I don't think it's going below 20K, but it's capable. Let me tell you what my job is. I know a lot of people get confused on this. A lot of people think my job is to hold your hand and to tell you exactly what to do at all times. No, that is not my job. My job is to lay out to you every scenario that we can see happening, to try to walk that journey with you as we're trying to figure out which direction it's going, but to make sure you understand that you have choices in your investing. And we're going to give you all the information, but then what you do with that information is on you. And you have to do your own research, and you have to come up with what you think the more likely scenario is. And this is why we always say the best thing to do is not do one exact thing, is to diversify your strategies, your movements, your positions, where you scale in, where you scale out at, your coins you invest in. Going to make sure you diversify. That's what my job is, to really teach you guys to diversify. That's what I feel like my job is. Maybe you guys can tell me what you feel like it is. So, all right, guys, go ahead.
I was just saying, don't worry. They'll tell you.
But by the way, the BitSquad has been awesome lately.
They have been.
You guys have been awesome lately. I know we went through kind of a hard time towards the end of last year, but appreciate everybody continue to support. Continue to support the channel, and I think you guys can see this year we're kind of going in a slightly new direction. A lot of the same stuff, but we just want you guys to know we're here for you at all times, and we hope you guys will be here for us as well. And smashing the like button's number one thing you can do. All right, moving on to the markets. Here we go. Let's check it out. $1.268 trillion in market cap. Now the volume has subsided. We are back down to the $90 billion range. Yep. 75 to 95 has generally been what we've been seeing in the bear market over the last few months. Bitcoin dominance, 44.4%, and ETH dominance falling 19.2%. Interesting seeing that fall. You have ETH gas at 44 Gwei, which would be 22 Paraguays. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to explain that joke to new people one day, but we will not for now. Let me ask you this, TJ. When we look at this dominance number, this ETH dominance number, mm-hmm. do you think that part of this dominance number dropping for Ethereum is based on the fact that Terra Luna has scared a lot of people out of getting into altcoins?
Yeah, could be. I think we saw it spike as everything was flowing out of UST and Terra, and they were doing a lot of those sell-offs. I think we saw people, I think people are scared of stablecoins in general right now. But you could make the argument, if people are scared of stablecoins, that could almost increase the dominance, right? Because if you've got money pouring out of stablecoins, what do you think, they're going straight to actual dollars or back into Bitcoin, or where would it go?
Bitcoin dominance numbers rising. It was at like 45, it dropped down slightly, but now it's back at 44.4.
So if people are scared with stablecoins, do you think they're going into Bitcoin?
Yeah. I think people have a lot of faith in Bitcoin. I think a lot of people have faith in Ethereum, but look, like when you look at Ethereum, we don't know the end result of this ETH merge. Like, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I think that's leaving some questions for people.
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's making people look at a lot of other platforms like Celsius, basically, not to FUD Celsius or anything, but there's definitely a lot of people looking at all of these protocols now and all of these, Curve and DeFi platforms. And, when you get to a certain scale with a certain amount of dollars, how does the game theory play out? We just learned with Terra, and then it makes you wonder with some of the other ones.
Yeah, and I tell you, my video yesterday about Terra, I think was spot on, is that, guys, if you lost all your money in Terra and that was all the money you had, you did it wrong. You got to diversify. But what you have to understand is it doesn't matter if it was intentional or not what occurred. We believe it was intentional, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If there was an exploit there of vulnerability, it was always going to happen. Can you go back over here to up a little bit on the basement, right there? Ben mentioned the possibility April 21st was the top, and thus we have been in a bear market for a year already. Please explain that logic and would make the case April 21 was top. Video on Thursday. We got a full video on this on Thursday. So look for that. Go back up a little more on the basement again, slightly. Right now we're in the, let me tell you what people have in common. Bitcoin bears and Bitcoin skeptics. They have one thing in common, okay? Which is every 4 years, they're right for a year. Every 4 years, for 1 year, they're correct. And then for the other 3, they're 100% wrong. Bitcoin bulls, in the end, we always win. Go look at the average Bitcoin price year over year. We always win over time, and we will continue to win over time. This year, there's a good chance at the end of this year, we're at a lower price point. $28,000 was the low for last year. This year, the low is looking like, it's going to be somewhere between, probably $20,000 and $35,000. There's a chance we might actually see a slight decrease for 1 year in the yearly price of Bitcoin, but it will ultimately go back up. I'm very confident in that. Bitcoin coming in, $29,432. Ethereum right at $2,000. BNB at $2.93. XRP at 41 cents. Cardano up a little bit at 55 cents. Solana 52. These numbers on the daily are just not really that fun to look at. Kusama's up a little bit. Could be usually when Kusama moves, that's a sign Polkadot is getting ready to make a move as well. Let's look at the 7-day moves. Maker is up considerably, one of the only working stable coins at this point.
Yeah.
Look at what's down though. UST down 90%, down to 9 cents. I feel terrible for that guy that we told him not to get out of it because it would probably go back up. But we did the same thing. So once you guys understand that, we weren't telling you to do anything that we didn't do. Now we were not in UST, only in Terra Luna. But, definitely very painful. Feel very bad for people that lost money. But there's probably not people out there that, there's probably not people out there that lost. There's not a lot of people that lost more than we did. So we lost $80,000 in it. So it is what it is. Be greedy when BitBoy is bearish and be fearful when BitBoy is bullish. Yeah, that really worked out when on April 12th, we told you that we were heading straight for bear market. Really worked out, doing the opposite of what we do. So believe meme culture and you will be a loser in crypto. Actually listen to the words that are said and you'll be people in this community that actually do extremely well. All right, let's bring up Frank. Frank, you want to come on up and talk for what's happening here? Someone misses the cool shirts I used to wear. Guys, these are bear market shirts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had to sell the expensive wardrobe and go with Target brand.
Accumulating Bitcoin, guys.
Got to sell all the fancy shirts, guys.
Yeah,
what's
stacking sats.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We got a lot of good stuff to look at today. I'm going to we're going to go over the price, where I think we're headed, but I also want to show you guys. I think there is I think, Ben, you were talking about this last week. You know, there is a small chance that we have already hit the bottom, and I'm going to kind of just show a couple things now. There is confluence pointing to that we could have possibly just hit the bottom, but there's also confluence pointing to lower numbers. But I just want to give a case for how this could have been the bottom. So, you know, some things that we can look at that kind of point that, you know, that could be a valid point. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into these charts and see what is.
Somebody said, "When did Ben wear cool shirts?" Yeah, nice comment, Dweeb. Golly.
Dweeb is an awesome
Dweeb.
word.
You like Dweeb? Dweeb's powerful.
Yeah,
you gotta admit, Dweeb's powerful.
Two of my favorites, Dweeb and Bozo.
Yeah, Bozo's a good one.
Yeah, Bozo's great. Bozo. All right, guys. So here we are on the Bitcoin, the daily chart. Actually, let's just zoom in a little bit and look at, or you know what? Let's start here. So, you know, in the short term, right, 10-hour. Let me actually move to a different chart with a little more. Bada boom, right here. Okay, so now there was no blood diamond on the 10-hour for that other chart. When you switch between different charts from different exchanges, there could be, you know, small discrepancies, you know, whether it's with price or market cipher indicators. There are small discrepancies, but this is the one that that I've been looking at. So we are printing a 10-hour blood diamond right now, which is not a great sign when you see these popping up on higher time frames. Now, it's not just this. If you start coming down these time frames, there's one on the 8-hour as well. And then you're no blood diamond on your 6-hour, but you are printing a red dot here. So that is
a pretty concerning looking chart right there.
Yeah,
you got like a what is that? I guess that's a bear flag.
Yep, we got a little bear flag for me. I actually pointed this out to my Discord this weekend. They were we were talking about, you know, I hopped in there for a little bit. They were like, "Hey, where are we going this weekend?" Now, I typically don't trade on weekends. I try to take some time off on the weekends. Just your psychology is a big part of trading, and it can be really easy to get sucked in the charts 24/7. So on the weekends, I do try to take a break. Anyone who's in my Discord or follows my channel will know that I have a hard time taking a break. So I'm always in there, and they're like, "Frankie, go enjoy your weekend." And I'm like, "No, there's a bearish divergence on the 15-minute." But we did point this out. You know, we were looking for, as we were coming up a little bit, you know, our first level of resistance that we were looking at was this high volume node right here. Turned out we bumped right to it and got rejected. We did have targets past that, but we did just get rejected at that first one. And I pointed out this bear flag, letting them know, you know, keep an eye out for this, because that we could break down out of this. Now, it is looking like, because of this 10-hour blood diamond, the 8-hour blood diamond, that 6-hour red dot. And then, I mean, if you just look here, money flow, you know, we're pretty deep on the lower time frames here into the red, but we are starting to print yellow X's here on the 15-minute. Sometimes these play out in a pretty big way. You know, 30-minute money flow coming straight out, looking like it wants to cross over into the red. So this is just, you know, right here too, you know, we were in the red, we crossed back into the green, but now we're coming back down into the red. So this is just kind of indicating that, you know, when money flow comes out on the lower time frames, you see that bleed into the higher time frames. And typically, especially when you have those bearish signals, on the 10-hour, the 8-hour, the blood diamonds, the red dot on the 6-hour, it's just kind of indicative that, you know, it could indicate that we could come down here. But let me just talk really quickly about, you know, I know a lot of people are saying that, you know, we could have seen the bottom come in here, and there is some stuff to back that up. And, you know, I know there's a lot of things a lot of people are talking about. Now, I don't know if anyone's actually talking about this. Now, this is market cipher specific. You could do this with moving averages as well. They play out a little differently. But, you know, as far as market cipher, let's actually just come back here to 2017. And let me actually come back to... Let me come to the Bitstamp chart. We get a little more history on this chart. Now, if we come all the way down to 2013, 2014 right here, right? We talk about the money flow going into the red. Let me take this off of auto so we can just see it a little better. You know, when we've talked about money flow on the weekly coming into the red a lot. Typically, it shows a incoming 50% drop historically. But if we just take a look at this and we just measure some stuff out here, right when you cross into the red on the money flow, I'm looking down here at these green and red waves. As soon as you cross into the red, you know, roughly you come down from, let's say here. Oh, let me just redo that so I can come to the top of this candle. Right here, if you come to the top and you measure all the way to the bottom, it's about 60%, right? Now let's come on over to 2017, and we'll do the same thing as we saw something very similar happen as soon as the weekly came into the red with that money flow right down here. Let's go ahead and measure what that drop was right at this crossover. About here to the bottom, about 50%. So 10% less than the previous cycle. Now, if we come on to our current price action here in the current cycle.
This is good content.
Yeah, I love this, guys. If you wonder what I do on the weekends, guys, I sit on my computer and just look at the charts. It is really, really, really interesting. And I was actually watching one of Tom Crown's live streams on the weekend, and he does kind of the same thing. He's like, I don't know who thinks this is interesting, but I just like looking at these things.
Yeah.
He pulls up certain things, and he looks at them, and I was in his chat, and I was like, dude, I thought I was the only one who did this.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Your girlfriend loves that.
Yes. I mean,
Frank is taken, ladies. So
yes,
we need to tell you that. I'm really sorry. Frank is taken.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Love you, Jess. But yeah, if you come here to our money flow coming into the red on the weekly for this current cycle, our crossover was right about here. If we come to the top of this candle and we measure down, that brings us to about, I'm actually, just for the sake of this, I'm going to remeasure because we were not right on the top of that candle because it is very interesting. So right at the top of this candle, you come down about 42%.
Wow.
So you got 60% in 2013,
bottoms,
2014. Then you had it 50% in 2017, 2018, and then now we're at 42. So if you were to continue seeing 10% chopped off of, these measurements of the money flow, this would make sense that this was a bottom. Also, if you did assume, as Ben was saying before, that this could have actually been the top with a dead cat bounce that just happened to make a higher high, if you measure from this top to this bottom, the amount of days between that top and the bottom are eerily similar to the other cycles. Taking into consideration the diminished returns, or maybe that time you might find a bottom a little faster in this cycle. The amount of days is very, very interesting. Also, kind of a little bit of confluence showing that this could have been the bottom. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% the bottom. I'm not saying it's the bottom. Put all your money in. I think we could possibly go lower.
But it's a good time to scale in. I don't think you can argue that.
Yes, I think if you're DCAing responsibly, not putting your whole bag in at once. If you're slowly DCAing over time, I mean, when the money flow is in the red on the weekly, every single cycle historically has been a great time. Even if you bought at the top of at the top of this money flow coming down, at the worst time as that money flow comes down into the red, over time you're still up big time. So definitely I would say a good time to be DCAing in, as long as you're not dumping your entire bag. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a lot of confluence saying that we could go lower too. But I did just want to cover that one thing for people who are saying it's the bottom. There is confluence there. And this is just one thing out of many other things you can look at that point. These numbers add up very coincidentally.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when we do a cycles video, you need to be paying attention to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because our numbers, when we've gone off of historical data, have been extremely dead on. I saw people in here say, we said the end of September for the top. Guys, we said the end of the total bull run would be between between Halloween and Thanksgiving. We said Bitcoin should have topped out around the end of September. What happened is Bitcoin had another run up and a lot of other stuff didn't hit all-time highs. It was like Bitcoin actually ended up being the peak of the bull run, was the top of Bitcoin, not the top of the altcoin market. So we were dead on with that. Now, of course, I take all the deserved responsibility for saying Bitcoin was going to hit $100,000 and it didn't. It didn't do it. Much more diminished returns than we expected. But these cycles have not steered us wrong. And when you look at these numbers, I saw people saying, a lot of people are saying the bottom should be in around the end of October. At the end of October to the end of November, sometime in October, November, maybe first week of December is where I think we should be looking, unless this false top theory turns out to be true, which Frank was talking about. A lot of evidence to suggest this. So, guys, we're not like trying to outthink you. We're not trying to come up with stuff out of the air. All we're doing is giving you numbers. Like, that's it. And I know a lot of people get really like focused on the RSI or the EMAs and looking at the TA and stuff like that. I like to look at the macro technical analysis, I guess a good way to say it. Look a much bigger chunk of time. When you know Bitcoin runs on 4-year cycles, then it's very obvious to see the connections. And these numbers, they're not coincidences. There are reasons why we see this type of stuff happen.
Well, especially when history repeats itself so as much as it has with Bitcoin so far. I mean, the cycles have been at least somewhat predictable to a degree. So, you want to take history into account. Doesn't mean it has to play out exactly, but you have to take it into account because when you look at the past 2 cycles, I mean, history definitely at least rhymed.
Yeah, and I think some people are in here saying, someone said we were promised 100K. And yes, we thought it was going to happen, and it didn't occur. But what I'll tell you is if you were so focused on the $100,000 number and not hitting 100K meant you did not really make money in this cycle, then you were already in probably too late. Because all the people that were in at the beginning of 2020 and 2019, they crushed it so much the 100K number wasn't even that important. And once again, I'm not diminishing responsibility here. But what you need to think about is now is the time where in the next cycle, people will look back on and say, I wish I could have been in then. And we'll have the whole thing happen again where you get people in too late. The only difference is I'm not 100% convinced that we will get another 4-year cycle after this one similar to the previous 4. Every cycle's got to prove to me. Now with this bear market, this is proven to me we have another 4 years of this cycle. And that's what's great. That's the opportunity and responsibility for you guys that you have right now. But going forward after that, we're not sure. So, Frank, thank you as always.
Of course. Bing bong. Guys, time to study. This is the time to double down on your research for real. This is where millionaires are made. Bing bong. Back to Ben.
Bing bong. That's a good line. This is when millionaires are made. So
when millionaires are made. Yeah.
Next year and a half, big opportunity. Probably the biggest opportunity of most of your lives.
So it said I never promised 100K. You're right. I probably never promised it, but I was too adamant. And looking back, I was. And that's one thing that I learned as I do this channel. Like, you guys got to remember, there's no manual out there on how to be a crypto YouTuber.
Yeah.
Right? There's no manual. We're all learning this together. This is such a new space that I learned I make mistakes. And the one thing that this channel does, I think, better than most other channels is we learn from our mistakes. So going forward, we're not going to be as adamant about any price point because we know that hurt people. And I'm very sorry about that. And I don't want to do that again. So we're not going to be adamant about prices. I'm going to try to give you multiple scenarios. So we're not sold out for one scenario, because nobody knows the future. But we think we have a pretty good gauge of what should be happening, but we don't know the future for sure. But we all know that if we stay in this together, we're all going to do well over time. So thank you so much for being a part of the BitSquad. Loving the lines today, Dweeb and Bing Bong. Someone also said dillweed is a good one.
That is a good one.
Dillweed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on here. Blood moon puts on lunar display across parts of Americas, Europe, and Africa. Guys, we got a blood moon out there. I mean, is this a sign for the bear market?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Marin would probably tell you.
I was going to say we should check in with Marin.
We should check. We should have Marin on in the morning one day.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I bet you she'll be at NFT NYC. We should see if we can get with her live. I've never met Marin in person.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I've had a good talk with her after I was on air with her one time on the show, but I love Marin. I think she's great. When Marin first came out on TikTok, like, I thought it was a little hokey.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously she talks about astrology and stuff like that many people don't take serious. But she's actually a very smart, very great person. So I'm a big fan of Marin.
It's very fascinating to me, all that stuff.
Because there's a lot of coincidental stuff.
Yeah.
You got to wonder how coincidental is some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First 7-week losing streak in Bitcoin history. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. I mean, I'm not going to go into the things to know. Just pointing out, guys, this is the first 7-week losing streak that we've had in its history.
Which, again, I hear as like, good. That's opportunity. This has never happened before. 7 down weeks for Bitcoin. Like, probably a good time to buy. May go lower, but like we said at the top of the show, good. It's hard to make a case against averaging in some buy point right here at 29.
Yeah.
Which is why I put that poll in there. About half of the audience has purchased under 30K, which I like.
Punity Vamper says Ben's going to start following Carl the Moon system. Could go up, could go down. Enters bear market, buy a Bugatti, and start a luxury lifestyle show. I love Carl. Carl's going to be on the show one day pretty soon, I think, in the next month or so. But we're not going. Like, here's the thing that's kind of like frustrating. Like, I did a lot of cool stuff in the bull market. Like, I started building this like really nice house, and it's like I want to show it to you guys, but
not now.
Not now.
No,
it's not time, right? Because I understand people. Not everybody took profits. Not everybody made money. So we're definitely going to be tamping down. I can't promise you I'm not going to wear a Gucci shirt because I only have so many large shirts now that I don't wear extra large anymore. But you're not going to see a lot of flexing on the channel here soon. So we understand. We want to be sensitive to people who have lost money. We want to be sensitive to that. So $1.9 trillion wipeout in crypto risk spilling over to stocks, bonds, stablecoin, Tether, and Focus. So here we go. Crypto market has lost $1.9 trillion 6 months after it soared to a record high. Interestingly, these losses are bigger than those witnessed during the 2007 subprime mortgage crisis, around $1.3 trillion, which prompted fears that creaking crypto market, what a weird line, will spill over across traditional markets, hurting stocks and bonds alike. What the heck? Like, what is this to where now we're saying the crypto markets are going to have a downward effect on the overall markets that are 40 times bigger?
Yeah.
Guys, that doesn't make any sense.
It's all
Asinine.
scared
Asset 10,
tactics.
that's 11. That's what they say.
But
Unfortunately, the bearish sentiment has not even spared stablecoins, so-called crypto equivalents of the U.S. dollar. I can't believe this is going to tell a lie.
well, that's what I was going to say. It's interesting to me how much easier it is for me to spot the FUD cycle this time around.
Yeah, of course.
When something bad happens and you get like Coinbase pushing bankruptcy articles and things like this, talking about crypto taking down the greater financial system, like it's insane. Like,
yeah, it's going to get worse, guys. And this is like,
where's the Tether FUD coming soon?
guys, this is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, I can't express that enough. Like, look, it's one of those things where when you've been through this and now you recognize it, all the stuff is lining up. All the things that everybody told you last year were not going to happen
Are happening.
now they're happening.
Yep.
And we told you they were happening. We told you we would go through a traditional bear market again. We told you everybody would get bearish on crypto again. And now we've got the people out there that are Bitcoin's a scam again. Like, guys, this is awesome. This is great for your opportunity. I am so excited for the people that watch this channel that have not made it yet.
Well,
you
you
are
can-
going to make it.
You can realize what's happening is big money is pushing the price down so they can get good entries, which gives you an opportunity to get a good entry.
Absolutely.
Swim with the whales.
According to a warning issued by rating agency Fitch last year, the agency feared that Tether's rapid growth could have implications for the short-term credit market, where it holds a lot of funds, according to company's own reserves breakdown disclosure. Let's see. Crypto losses now equal 1.7. 2007 mortgage market. I love how we're comparing the mortgage market to the crypto markets.
It's insane.
Love how we're doing that.
Or money today to money in 2007.
Yeah, like there was a lot less of it out there.
Exactly. Way less.
Institutions may be accumulating Bitcoin after major exchange movements. You think? Sharp market downturns are not always bad news. They provide entry points for investors seeking longer-term gains. This appears to be what is happening at the moment, according to Crypto Quant. Are institutional investors selling Bitcoin? They're buying BTC via market makers right now. Here's what happened last week. And by the way, I saw an awesome video. Let me see if I can give me 1 second, teacher. You know what I want to do? I want to start doing a segment where I react to TikToks on the live stream.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the one where I made a comment.
You gonna sing Crypto Boy for us?
I don't want another crypto boy. You care more about your currency than you do about us currently.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I could be a singer. I really could.
You got the confidence.
I do have the comments. I can't find it. I wish I could find this girl. I can't remember what her name is on TikTok, but basically she explains what market makers are. And this is like big discrepancies in information and understanding that people have for people that are market makers is not necessarily the exchanges. Some of these are people that exchanges bring in. When you get liquidated, the market makers are taking your money. The exchange isn't necessarily taking your money. The exchange is making money on the fees. Influencers, when you have affiliate links, they make money on the fees. It's actually in their incentive to make you win because then you'll trade more. If you lose, you get liquidated, you're one-stop shop and done. That doesn't make any sense. So, but a really great breakdown. Maybe I can find it and then I'll make a note and we can, we can do it. So, all right. Exchange movement suggests Bitcoin accumulation. On-chain analytics revealed that market makers who use the Gemini exchange sent around 84,000 Bitcoin to Binance from May 7th to May 10th, hitting an all-time high. Who do you think that was?
Yeah. Interesting time frame there. May 7th to May 10th.
And we've got a big Luna video for you guys where we're going to break all that stuff down and we're going to tell you what actually happened. So, Damon Carney, watching this channel changed my life. Now I work in crypto. BitBoy Crypto's the best. Hi from Permissionless West Palm. What's up, Damon? Good to see you.
Hey, love Damon.
Okay. All right. Markets take a breather. Basically, things have come down a little bit. And that is what tends to make me think that we are going to see some upward action. Is it feels like in the short term, In the short term, it's hit a bottom. Like, can you see it losing another, 10 or 15%, like really quick to get to another low?
I mean, I could. I mean, I can see almost any scenario at this point. But I think it'll be probably, if I had to guess, we'll see a slow grind up till the next Fed meeting when we get decimated again. And then it'll be a matter of what support holds.
When is the next meeting? Do we know?
I think it's another month or two.
It's June, I think.
Okay. I think it is in June. I looked it up the other day.
Yeah, please be mindful to audience. People are hurting. Yeah, absolutely. I try to be. But let me tell you what I won't do. Let me tell you what I won't do. I won't come on here and I will not talk to people who are hurting like their children. And I will not come on here and I will absolve people who are hurting of their own responsibility and decision-making that led them to a really bad spot. If you just got in at the wrong time, then here's the truth. As long as you stay in, you're going to be fine. Like in 2018, when people were saying 20,000 was the top, or 20,000 was the top in 2017, during 2018, I told people all year, even if you bought at the top, you will still be up one day, as long as you don't sell. And that turned out to be great advice. I believe the same thing today. So if you got in at the wrong time and you're looking at your portfolio, then I understand and I'm with you, but just know, have a long-term mindset, you're going to be fine. For those who did things like taking loans to buy crypto, we have told you over and over and over and over again, that is always a bad idea. It is always a bad idea to take loans for crypto. People who are all in on one coin and you've gotten wrecked, how many times can we tell you that's not how you do it, right? So people do have to understand, if you're hurting and you're in a bad spot, if you don't learn from that, then guess what? You become perpetual dumb money. And you do not want to be perpetual dumb money. You want to be able to move from being dumb money to a person who is a smart investor. So I want people to know I hurt for you, and we are mindful of that stuff. And that's why I'm not, driving the Lambo to work every day and putting it on video, right? I understand that. There are people that are hurt. People in my family got in at the wrong time, okay? So I understand that. But I also won't coddle people that are going to absolve you of your responsibility, that's going to make you a better person and a better investor. So do want everybody to understand that. So you only get the realness here on this channel. So Crypto Hulk tells people to max out their credit for crypto. He should be banned from crypto. Yeah, anybody who's telling people to ban their credit cards out for crypto that's bad advice. We've seen that over and over again. Even when we thought Bitcoin was going to 100K and it fell to 40K or whatever it was, like it seemed to be a smart move to take a loan for crypto at that point. We always tell you it's a bad idea. Always a bad idea, because the unknown is so powerful in crypto and the volatility. Okay, Fantom stablecoin DEI becomes latest to lose dollar peg. Once again, it follows a trend of several algorithmic stablecoins losing their pegs. Now, the question is it going to have a further effect on Fantom? Are we going to see Fantom crash the same way that we saw Terra Luna crash? And I would argue probably not. We'll look at the story and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Deuce Finance, a stablecoin, lost its peg with US dollar and fell to as low as 54 cents in European hours on Monday, data shows. Is that the crypto granny from TikTok?
No,
I'd like to get her on around the blockchain. I like her. She's
I like her too.
I do too.
Where are you seeing that?
It said, I think that's her name. If you go, it says Bobby Crypto. Why did you hide Crypto Granny?
I didn't hide it.
Somebody did. Steve-O did. Steve-O. Unhide Crypto Granny. We like her.
Steve-O's.
I think that's the same one.
Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. I'll reach out to her on TikTok.
Yeah, do it.
I'll try to do it.
Should be good for around the blockchain.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I like good people that seem to care about people. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a common thread you'll see about people that come on around the blockchain.
Absolutely.
The collateral ratio of DEI is constantly monitored and adjusted via arbitrage bots, continually trade $1 worth of the underlying token. And this is exactly how an algorithmic coin works here. Continually trades $1 of the underlying token for one DEI or vice versa. That is how they happen. DEI, which traded 3 cents below its peg on Sunday, lost 20 cents on Sunday night as traders likely exchanged DEI for USDC. Now, here's what I would say about this. I think if we go and look here at, let's pull up DEI. Now, it has lost its peg, so I'm sure it's dropped a pretty considerable amount here. Let's see. It's down to 70 cents. What is the all? Right now, it is ranked 2,842. This is what you have to understand. Let me actually...
Not nearly as much locked up in this protocol as UST.
Why does nobody leave super chats anymore from Damon, Pluto, Alice, Pluto Alliance, things to say? People do. We had a big uptick in super chats in the last few weeks. But guys, DEI is not as big as UST. So this is not going to tank Fantom. Now, Fantom's been dropping for other reasons. Bear market on top of Andre Cronje leaving a lot of stuff with Fantom.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not good for Fantom necessarily. Correct. But it's not like the number one thing that Fantom has failing, which is pretty much what UST was.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see this having a long future here. Nicholas Hyder asking about the JED for Cardano, potential vulnerability to ADA as it backs JED. Guys, I want to be clear here. I do not like algorithmic stablecoins. I do not think algorithmic stablecoins are good for the space. There are some people that do disagree with that. I've had people on the show that have disagreed with that think they're good, that we need that competition. I think right now we haven't seen one that has worked over the long term, that has not ever lost its peg, that has been able to, really prove its value. I can only tell you, remember this, I can only tell you what we do here with certainty. We do not invest in algorithmic stablecoins. We will not be investing in algorithmic stablecoins for a very long time. If the JED comes out from Cardano's ecosystem and proves its value, then maybe one day we could do that if we're trading on the Cardano ecosystem. But I don't think right now, if you're looking for a place to put your money, you want to be putting your money in algorithmic stablecoins. So that's what's going on with that. Stablecoins receive Queen's blessing as UK braces for landmark crypto legislation. So old lady yells at regulators. I like that. It's better than old man yelling at Bitcoin. Prince Charles spoke on behalf of the Queen at the House of Lords last week, outlining her government's legislative priorities and listing the measures it intends to present. Stablecoins are on their radar. Her Majesty's Treasury launched a consultation of the proposed UK approach to crypto assets and stablecoins, including a proposal to bring stablecoins under the regulatory jurisdiction of the kingdom. So UK Treasury representative revealed the legislation to regulate stablecoins when used as a means of payment will be included in the Financial Services and Markets Bill, which was unveiled in Her Majesty's speech. I can't believe we still talk like this. Look, we love the UK, though. I want to be clear on that. We love people from the UK. Mr. Bean, we're a little lukewarm on football. We love football. We love the pitch. We love the Queen. We love
cricket.
We love cricket. Big fans of cricket. We love fish and chips.
I'm not a big fish and chips fan.
My wife loves Big Ben.
Oh, okay.
Big fan of Big Ben. The wife is. So she loves clocks.
Yeah.
What can I say? Big clock lover. Loves clocks. Is she in here? She's not in here right now. She wasn't.
That's probably good.
Hey, this weekend for the vlog, we're recording our dance lesson today. We've been doing ballroom dancing. So if you want to see me on the dance floor, check out Saturday's video. You'll be able to see it. Okay. All right. Well, actually, it might be the next Saturday. I think we're running a week behind on those videos, actually. So you'll see last week's video this week and then this week's video last week. If you looked at ICP recently, I think it will overtake ETH within a couple of years. That's from Kenny Boy NYC. I know some people that are really bullish on ICP. I'm not. So thoughts on Corey Klippstein calling ADA a scam. He's a toxic maximalist. Of course, he's going to call it a scam. He calls everything a scam. But Swan Bitcoin unto itself is not a bad. We'll actually talk about that a little bit. We get into that here in just a second. So Terra LFG reveals what happened to its. This is a crazy story of the day.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Pippi Longstocking? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Let's see. The Luna Foundation Guard revealed early Monday in a tweet storm that it sold off almost its entire Bitcoin reserve in the failed attempt to prevent the meltdown of its native governance token Luna and flagship stablecoin UST.
It was crazy reading that thread.
I
can't.
I thought it was a typo when I read it the first time.
I can't imagine selling that much crypto that fast just to watch it all just disappear.
Foundation, and this all happened so fast, between when they started this, this LFG, and it's funny, it's a meme. He's tweeting about coins dying, man.
Boom.
Foundation said that on May 7th, or one day before UST began to depeg from its targeted $1 parity, it had 80,394 Bitcoin. Its largest holding, around $3 billion at the time, along with approximately 26.2 million Tether, 23.5 million Coinbase dollar, 1.9 million AVAX, 1.6 million Luna, 697,000 UST.
Look at that.
Look at these numbers.
That's a lot of crypto.
Let's get to it now. Now, remember, I want you to remember this number. 80,394. 80,394. Okay. According to the foundation, this left it now after the sell with only 313 Bitcoin, around 9 million. They sold off $2.9 billion worth of Bitcoin. Do you wonder why the market tanked?
Yeah.
What supply is 80,000 out of 15,000? Because they say there's only million, excuse me.
Yeah.
They say there's 19 million in circulation. They say 4 million of those are lost forever. I think they say 4.5 million are lost forever. Well, 1 million of those being approximately Satoshi, somewhere between 600,000 and 1.1 million. 3.5 million from people that early on were mining Bitcoin and lost it because they didn't think it was going to be that valuable one day. Because you got to remember how much faster Bitcoin was mined back then. So what is 80,000 out of 14.5 million? Can someone do that math? Well, I'll try doing it on the calculator right now.
0.005%-ish, but I did it out of 15, not 14. So you said 80,340?
No, just put 80,000. Just 80,000. Make it easy. Math is hard. I mean, it should be approximately...
Yeah, 0.0057 ballpark.
So it's 0.5% of the supply of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
0.5% of the supply of Bitcoin was sold off in days. That's insane. And I think it was in one, that's after the money that they let them borrow that they tanked too, whoever the rogue entity is here.
Yeah.
So
who was also selling and shorting and pressuring
0.5% of the total supply. Yeah,
That's
absolutely
wild.
insane. So there you go. You see what they own there. They own basically $63.29 million worth of Avalanche in excess of Luna, yada, yada, yada. So that is really crazy what they did. Crypto.com unblocks users, reverses glitched Luna trades that made 30 to 40,000 or 30 to 40x. Crypto.com was one of the few crypto exchanges to keep Terra Luna trades open as Terra's death spiral saw an unrecoverable price crash of Luna and stablecoin UST. This is the founder, Chris, of Crypto.com. I can't remember his last name. Malzek, I think. For 59 minutes, we were quoting prices 30 to 40x above market prices. Oh my gosh, this is painful right here. Imagine making all this money and then they just take it away. Marzalek, there it is. According to Marzalek, users who trade during those 59 minutes are eligible for a buyback option at the market price of Luna tokens. So you made all this money, but we're going to give you, a fraction of that back. Why, with Luna's price collapsing more than 99%, validators for Terra's blockchain officially halted the network. This is what I would say about this. Like, I am going to slightly throw Crypto.com under the bus here. You guys know I'm a big fan of Crypto.com. I think CRO is going to be a coin of the future. I think they have a bright future there. You got to fix this. Like, not you got to pay all these people their money back because it's probably an insane amount. But you can't have your prices off for a whole hour. For a whole hour, you can't have your prices off and people trading under false prices. So this is a big thing they have to fix. So opinion on Quant, QNT, I'm not that bullish on it. I don't see really what it offers much more than other comparable things. I know Crypto Mason loves it, and that actually makes me seem to think maybe it's pretty good. We've done some videos on it before. We have looked at it. After we looked at it, prices tanked for a while, and we weren't, we didn't have a reason to really be pushing it or looking at it. It's one maybe we'll take a look at, but we do not own it in our portfolio. And what was the super chat before that?
Damon talking about a blood diamond on the weekly for UST, which is interesting.
Well, I think, guys, before all this is said and done, I don't know if we have all the information on this yet.
Yeah.
There may be more. So, all right, moving on. Charles Hoskinson discloses key elements of Cardano's ecosystem growth. Charles Hoskinson, IOHK CEO, has once again stated that Cardano has no secrets, while responding to critics calling ADA an obfuscated scam. Concerns about stablecoins and cryptos have been expressed in the aftermath of UST's death spiral, which saw the Terra ecosystem collapse. Welcome as much digging as possible, talking about, going back to the tweet from Corey Clipston was included in. People have been digging into us for years. Cardano is pretty anti-fragile. El Comatus. There isn't anything to hide, just years of progress building in a massive community. Keep making public defamatory comments before a vast audience that are admissible. Concern about Cardano's ecosystem being a bit lacking have recently resurfaced. While ADA is valued at over $19.4 billion, its DeFi ecosystem has total value locked of over $137 million. And critics argue that Terra's ecosystem had TVL of over $30 billion at its peak. Guys, the amount of TVL a project has doesn't equal whether or not it's going to crash. Like, I don't think that's a good argument there. Like, oh, Terra had 30 billion and Cardano's got 20 billion. So if it can happen to Terra, it can happen to... No. Terra had a vulnerability in its stablecoin, which big difference between the DGED stablecoin with Cardano's ecosystem and the UST stablecoin with Terra Luna. And this may not always be the case, but right now it is the case, is that UST was the entire thing that Terra Luna was built on. Terra Luna was built on the 18% staking on it on Anchor with UST. That's what made it popular. It wasn't because, how many of you guys have heard of great Terra Luna projects built with smart contracts on top of the Terra Luna ecosystem? Do you know any, TJ?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You have Anchor Protocol?
Yeah.
You have UST.
Mm-hmm.
Terra Virtua, I think we were involved with at one time, is a metaverse project that was being built on top of Terra. I guess that's probably dead now. I guess, and that's something you got to think about. If you turn a blockchain off, are all the projects on top of it dead?
Yeah.
I guess, right? So, I mean, that would make common sense.
Unless, they can move to another blockchain, but they're not functioning right at that moment.
So, I think that, basically, you can't compare the amounts of numbers. You have to look at what role that coin played. And if DGED ends up playing as large of a role in the Cardano ecosystem with unsustainable staking returns of 18%, then I would be very concerned about Cardano. But right now, we don't have any reason to have those concerns. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson stated that the Vassal hard fork remains on track. Yada, yada, yada. Now we're getting into this. We have another one for the paint chip brigade here. Talking about Corey Clipston. Can we play this? Can you pull this up?
I should be able to. Just give me...
Okay, we'll let TJ pull this up. I have actually not heard this clip. Yeah, we need the headphones.
Yeah.
I agree.
Look, the headphones would help. Who's... It's Charles Twitter that's on?
Yeah, Charles Hoskinson. Hosky is who he's done. I reached out to Charles reached out to his team about an interview on the channel. I haven't heard back, so... Terra Virtua is not a Terra project. Okay, well, that's good to know then. Then that's great. That's great. Somebody told me that. I didn't realize that it was, but it made sense to me logically that it would be. So good. Terra Virtua is not on that. So that's great news. BitBoy has HBAR in his portfolio. He likes it. I do love HBAR. I put HBAR and Algorand as potential next Solanas for giant runs in the next bull run.
All right. So I believe this should play.
Wasn't play to earn supposed to do well in a bear market? Wrong on that one.
All right, let me see.
Okay. We tried.
Yeah, I should have. It sounded like it was coming through to me, but I could hear it.
Okay. Well, we tried, guys. I would like to know what he said.
Basically, he said that Charles, his scam is a lot more long running and obfuscated by technical things than Terra Luna, and it's a lot worse than Terra Luna.
Yeah. So of course he would say that. Look, I just. Oh, here comes no sound. Everybody's saying no sound.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between the basement and YouTube on the
time delay.
Yeah, we need to make sure that's fixed.
Yeah.
We have to be able to play clips on here.
I agree.
Okay, well, sorry. Here's what I'll say though. Like I've talked to Corey before. I've met him in person. We have done some stuff with Swan Bitcoin before. I think Swan Bitcoin is a great way to dollar cost average
I like
into
Swan
Bitcoin.
It's a good product.
But he's a toxic maximalist. And you have to understand, when your entire business is pushing the idea of Bitcoin only, and you have things like Cardano and Ethereum that threaten that, it's your job to get out there and FUD it. And that's what they do. That's what they all do. So it's really sad, and I hate it, that we have to have these contentious, talks about this stuff. But he's wrong here. Like, Bitcoin, all about choice. We want everybody to come in the economy and everybody to have choice. Oh, what if that choice includes investing in other coins? No, you're not allowed to do that. They're all scams. They're all scams. Ethereum's a scam. Cardano's a scam. XRP's especially a scam, even though it's working with banks and it's got use case and people are going to use it. Definitely a scam. These people call everything that's not Bitcoin a scam. And I cannot wait for when Ethereum flips Bitcoin. I cannot wait. Let me tell you, you think we had a party when we hit 1 million subscribers? You think we had a party when ETH hit 2,500 and I came out in the Easter bunny costume? You think that? No, guys. When Ethereum passes Bitcoin, we are going to have the biggest party you've ever seen, other than the XRP party we're throwing. That's going to be bigger than anything you've ever seen. So, all right, let's go. Let's continue on here. Let's see what Wendy said. Going viral on Sunday for refusing to censor someone and folks not watching the entire media piece or any other of the media pieces you made is fantastic. I'll be at the pool all day while y'all go at it. Look, I love Wendy. Wendy's great. Look, here's the thing, guys. You have people on your show, and you want to allow people to talk. We talk about anti-censorship all the time, and when people give people platforms to talk, like I give Richard Hart the opportunity to talk from time to time. A lot of people don't like that. But I think he deserves to be able to be, listened to like anybody else does. It's up to you to make up the idea or your opinions on what, he is or is not doing. This is the same thing. She allows somebody to come on and talk. Wendy should not be assassinated for, allowing somebody to come on the show. It doesn't mean she agrees with everything. So, I don't think that Wendy said, that she's, in agreement with that. So is there a BitLab Academy video? Should we do a video on it?
We should.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm going to put that on the list with Nick. So
that's a
guys,
good,
we've got for June, I'm gone a lot. I've got a kids baseball tournament that's out of town. And then we're going to NFT NYC, and then I've got a vacation that I'm going on. So we're going to have a lot of pre-recorded videos for you guys during some live stream spots. DZ will be doing some. I'll be sending some in on from the road, but we got a lot of videos for you guys coming up this month. So in the next, 30 to 45 days. So were you going to say something, TJ?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for not saying anything.
You're welcome.
That's my favorite thing you do. Meta adopts Bitcoin after its own stablecoin failed. After years of attempting to launch its own stablecoins, Meta has adopted Bitcoin in its Lightning Network. Interesting. David Marcus, who's their head of blockchain at Meta, or Facebook, excuse me, starting a new company called Lightspark to explore, build, and extend the capabilities and utility of Bitcoin as a first step. We're actively assembling a team to dive deeper into the Lightning Network. So there you go. Pretty interesting. It first aimed to create several coins for distinct regions of the world, but soon abandoned the plan. Instead, it decided to focus on Libra. We know that got shut down by regulators and politicians. Meta adopts Bitcoin and remains interested in blockchain technologies. It's also testing a new feature that showcases NFTs in its sister social network, Instagram. So what do you think about that story?
That's pretty big. Pretty big. Like, I don't know what the specifics are, or, if it's research, like it makes sense if they're looking at payments that they understand the Lightning Network. That doesn't mean they're 100% going to implement it, but understanding how it works makes sense. But if they do implement it, that'd be obviously huge for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you see the direction that you see what happens with Twitter, that really starting to bring in a lot of Lightning Network stuff, Bitcoin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Super chat here. Okay, Ben, what was your biggest hit in crypto? One of my biggest hits was Seek VR, which like 4,000% gains over last year. We talked about it in 2020, and I set up a node, and then I sold all my coins, and I forgot that I had a node, and then I went back on, and the node had stored up a bunch of it. That was a really big hit. What are some Solana? I mean, crush Solana.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ethereum and Cardano.
Ethereum and Cardano,
big
obviously.
hits.
Yeah, big hits. Sandbox, another big hit, but we just didn't have very much of it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bitcoin, or I think Sandbox, excuse me, is going to be one of our biggest hits once the whole land is playable. But they pushed it back again.
Yeah.
Looking at next year, folks, where Sandbox is out there, and I think it's probably pretty good. So, look, the more invite Svetsky on the show, no thank you. No, thank you. That guy's one of the most low IQ humans I've ever talked to in my entire life. Like the interview I did with him where he pretty much admitted that yeah, I would be a Nazi if it meant that those people like Bitcoin. That was insane to me. I can't have a logical conversation with someone that's going to say something like that. So, yeah. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's never coming on the show.
That was a lot.
That's one of the worst humans. That is one of the worst humans I've ever conversed with. And I can't believe that Mark Moss wrote a book with him. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how Mark Moss stooped to that level. I love Mark Moss. I would never say anything bad about Mark Moss. I don't know how he managed to work with him on a book. You're flabbergasted by that as well, right?
Yeah, only thing must have been a very different experience than what we experienced.
Must have been.
Yeah.
Must have been. So look, if you're around people that agree with you, everything's fine. It's the Bitcoin maximalists. They have the problems when people don't think exactly like they think. So, anyways, last Sunday night, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele announced on Twitter that 32 central banks and 12 financial authorities from 44 countries are to meet on Monday, May 16th, to discuss financial inclusion, digital banking, banking the unbanked, or digital economy, excuse me, El Salvador's Bitcoin rollout and its benefits to the country. I have been adamant since the Bitcoin El Salvador news that I don't think it's good. I think ultimately it will be a failed experiment. I can't make an argument for telling people to use an appreciating asset in a third world country. I cannot, in my brain, make sense of that. They're so far ahead of the curve. They're like pets.com in the internet bubble here, right? It just wasn't going to work at the time. One day it will make sense. Right now it doesn't make sense. Did you hear the big news over the weekend about his laser eyes?
No.
He removed his laser eyes.
Uh-oh.
Not long after President Bukele's official announcement, Bitcoin Beach tweeted out a map of the world that seemingly has countries who have either adopted Bitcoin already or are attending Monday's meeting filled in with color, saying probably nothing. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be bragging about this one right here. So, Kevin Samuels died. Did they know it was a heart attack he died from? It was Red Bulls. They got. That's your uncle? Is that your uncle for real? Well, Lorenzo worked here. He loved Kevin Samuels.
He said my uncle and Kevin Samuels.
Oh, and Kevin Samuels
died from drinking Red Bulls.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the only.
I think these are better than Red Bulls.
They are.
I think the Bangs were actually designed for workout drinks. I don't think they're as bad as Red Bulls and Monsters, but maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't know.
Yeah, the interesting thing to me about this meetup is I think it's good to start to see financial discussions, not G20, not the biggest countries of the world saying like, this is what we're going to do. These are some smaller world leaders trying to mobilize and, do some positive thing. Whether the Bitcoin experiment does or doesn't work ultimately there, I think it's positive momentum to see countries gathering to discuss financial inclusion and financial innovation outside of the IMF and the big, World Economic Forum in the big countries. So that was what was most interesting to me about it.
I would like to point out, apparently removing the laser eyes was fake news. Yeah, he has several people in his profile pictures that have laser eyes here. So there it is. Thank you for pointing that out. I saw a tweet about it. I thought that was true. Yeah. So my son calls them YouTuber drinks. That's pretty funny. Well, let me tell you, this YouTuber life, you need some energy. I don't think people have a clue what we do on a daily basis.
No.
You really well. I hope that vlog will show a little bit more about what we do. So, Miami's mayor back. Miami coin dropped 95%.
Hope you didn't pay people in that.
On February 2nd, the city of Miami cashed out its crypto for the first time, depositing $5.25 million into city coffers. First, Mayor Suarez hailed it as a historic moment, predicted the crypto could one day replace municipal taxes, the government's primary source of funding. DGB, is that Digibyte?
Digibyte, yep.
Digibyte is so irrelevant at this point that I don't think it's worth discussing, to be honest with you. Don't think it's a bad coin. Don't think it's a bad community. But I just think, guys, I think Digibyte's time has passed for sure. Till it gets back up, top 50, 40. It got all the way up to almost number 30. I said it would never get past number 30. I have a bet with somebody on that. It never did. But we'll see what happens. After 9 months, though, Miami coins lost all of its value, 95%. I mean, guys, let's be fair here. This is all coins, pretty much. So, Miami Coin is the first in what City Coins, a Delaware-based company with a mailing address in LA strip mall, has promised will be a series of U.S. branded.
That's funny.
I mean, guys, what does that have to do with it? I mean, if they have an office in a strip mall, like, does that mean they're more or less serious than somebody that has an overpaid office in a big building in New York City?
I think it's just the irony of the people making Miami coin open their company in Delaware and are actually headquartered in LA.
Well, all companies open in Delaware almost.
Yeah.
Because it's the most friendly LLC company.
Right. It's tax reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it's still just funny.
It is. XRP takes a dive ahead of Wednesday's SEC versus Ripple court date. So here you go. If you're in the XRP community, throw the X up. Should I give the name of the project now?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can.
Talk to Justin.
I think I can. Can somebody go get Justin? Johnny, can you go get Justin for me?
Williams?
Yeah, go grab Justin Williams for me. I want to see if we can whet the people's appetite a little bit,
I think we should wait until we've got
we have everything.
Well, I know we should do one post.
One post. Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll wait. I cannot wait to tell you what we're doing, though. I'm dying inside. Do you know how long I've been wanting to bust out of the seams and tell you what we're doing?
How long?
2 months. And I haven't been able to. So throw the X up. If you're in the XRP army, I am a big believer in XRP. We are going to swim with the whales. Shout out to my dude, Crypto Mason. I love that guy. He's always giving you guys good information. We're going to have information on ISO 2022 very soon. We've got also a lot of information about tie-ins between Ripple, BlackRock, and Energy Web Token. So watch out for that. May have a big video on that. Haven't written it yet, so I'm not going to swear on it, but I think we're going to be doing a video on that. Pretty good. Ben, is it possible for USDC to lose its peg? Yeah, if they don't have all the assets backing it, but they do. So that's the only thing that backs a peg on a $1-to-$1 basis that's not algorithmic is you have that much money in the bank. As long as that money's there, it's backed. So let's see. On Sunday, XRP rose by 5%, following a 0.92% gain from Saturday. XRP ended the week down 21% to point. Look, they put $0.0. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 45 cents, basically. Downside came despite a... okay, that's fine. He's always eating. That's how he's bigger than me, guys. Taller. You get taller by eating. Despite a positive reaction to Ripple's court submission in the case, this Wednesday, the SEC is to respond to Ripple's reply to the SEC brief. Time of the writing, it was down 7.22%. XRP will need to move through the first major support level. Guys, let me tell you like this. When it comes to XRP, right now, if you're worried about the XRP price, you're doing it wrong right now. You should not be thinking about the price right now. There is probably downward action still to come. Most likely, that's the most likely scenario. Guys, we could see this thing go back and touch 19 cents. I think that's possible. It doesn't matter where it is right now, guys. The suppression of the bull run of XRP is going to be gone. And in the next bull run, it is going to absolutely explode when this case ends. Some people will make the argument that the SEC has intentionally done this to continue to suppress the price, make sure that they missed the bull run. They did miss the bull run. We did not get all-time highs again for XRP, but everyone else's loss is your gain as you are still here in the XRP community. And, let me tell you, we're about to make this community way more fun than it's ever been. I feel like there's not really been a great tie-in with the XRP army, with the XRP community, to really tie everybody together. And we're going to be bringing that to you guys. So we're really, really, really excited. So another thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be bringing a lot more XRP influencers on the channel for the live stream. We're working on getting a lot of those out. Quick hits. FTXE sees no future in Bitcoin payments. Community fires back. We should have this as its own story.
Yeah,
I'd love to talk that.
Well,
we could have put this with Cardano.
I pulled that at the end. That's why.
Yeah. I would love to make more comments. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Johnny, let's pull it. Well, I won't be here tomorrow, so never mind. Maybe I'll make thoughts on Twitter. Bitcoin has no futures as a payments network. 100%. To think about me agreeing with this guy with bad hair. Is this the guy we got in an argument because you think he has good hair?
Yeah, we got in an argument about this one.
Yeah, I think the chat was on your side.
Uh-huh.
That's a low moment for Bitcoin, for crypto. That's a low moment. When y'all are looking at Sam Bankman-Fried's hair and saying that this is like what you want to model your hairstyle after.
Well, I don't think anybody was saying that.
Yeah. It's not a good do. It's not a good do. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm a chick, I'm not dating this guy. I don't care if he's a billionaire. First thing a woman is doing when she gets with Sam Bankman-Fried is fixing his hair. That's how you know this guy's single. When this guy fixes his hair, you know he's got somebody. I'm telling you, that's a sign. That's a sign. You will notice that. I don't want to get back into it too much, but I'm just not a big fan of his hair. Bitcoin investment giant Grayscale debuts ETF in Europe. Bored Ape, somebody accidentally sold a Bored Ape for $200. Ooh. Square Enix plans to issue tokens. Dogecoin enthusiast Elon Musk deal is in danger. Yada yada. We could do more, but we got to do a couple questions because I got to go in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's do these real quick. Q&A, DCA weekly into ETH, ADA, and BTC in equal amount or greater percentage on Ethereum?
Out of those three, I'm saying greater percentage on Ethereum because of the merch.
Yeah, exactly. If XRP case is solved at the bottom of the bear market, Bitcoin is, say, at 10,300, what do you think price target for XRP if the price is
the lower the price, the better for the quick pop. So a lot of people are saying they can easily see it getting to $2, like once this case is over. Because, guys, it hasn't been tradable anywhere. Like, you've got to really search. You got to be deep into crypto to know where to go to buy it. A lot of people are going to look to buy it. Like I said, I think 19 cents could be a good number to look for a dip. 20 cents, good psychological number there. And then I think, it could go up to $2. I mean, you could see. Don't hold me to this. Don't hold me to this. I'm not predicting. I'm not projecting. I'm just saying I think it's possible that we could go from 20 cents to $1 to $2 pretty much in the span of 2 or 3 days. I think it's definitely possible.
Richard on YouTube is play to earn dead. No, but it's going to be a long time.
Long time. And this is great. If you watch our video with Meta Money on Saturday, really great time to be in Metaverse and to be in play to earn. Like looking for the next big winners is what you need to be focused on. No Metaverses are ready right now.
No. Long term. Think long
They're
term.
Not ready. So this is good for them to have time to build.
Yeah. And good for you to have time to learn. Thoughts on Matic?
Love it. I think Matic still is going to be a good play. However, if ETH merge rollout is excellent and it solves a lot of problems overnight, you could see some people backing away from Polygon, but I don't expect that to happen. I expect there to still be some issues.
St. Nicholas has a bag looking to move. Can you comment on gas fees right now? They seem low enough to make moves. I would say, watch. I'd let things fade a little
34 Gwei.
Yeah. And you got to remember, too, it also reflects, it's priced in Ethereum. So if the Ethereum price is down dollar-wise, you're getting lower fees as well. So, now's a good time.
I think it's a great time. You don't see gas fees much lower than this.
No. Grant Gustafsson wanted to know, what is the reason for buying crypto land with digital dollar to come from a stable altcoin? Will banks create their own blockchain? That's two different questions.
Yeah, it's two totally separate questions. Is he saying buying land in a metaverse?
Yeah. What is the purpose of buying land in a metaverse?
Returns. We paid $50,000 for our sandbox land. It's now worth $2.5 million.
Yeah.
So,
I'd say
big returns.
Speculation. We're still speculating. It's still super early. So
Thank you, Jared Lundby. I see you.
If you take a risk now, it could pay off, but some of them will definitely fade away. Just like all crypto, though.
He said SBF has terrible hair. Thank you. I just like when people side with me.
We know.
Thanks. All right, guys, that is all that we got for today. Thank you so much for coming on. DZ will be hosting the show today. I will not be on Around the Blockchain this afternoon. I'm actually doing another show with Benzinga. You guys can go check that out at, is it Bazinga or Benzinga?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll be doing a show with them. So, all right, guys, that's all we got. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Good boy out.